Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about gaining inspiration for your Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition game through the 1994 Vampire the Masquerade collectible card game. All right, so a good friend of mine gave me a huge collection, pristine, really beautiful collection of these cards. I have no intentions of playing Jihad. I have no intentions of running Vampire the Masquerade. But I actually am incredibly happy to get this collection because it's a really just fantastic inspiration for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition non-player characters. So let me show you how this works. And really I'm doing this to encourage you to go get hundreds or thousands of these cards for 20, 50, $100. You can easily get a nice lot of these cards, and they are really fantastic inspiration for Dungeons and Dragons games, specifically for non-player characters. So all of these characters here, these are all from specifically the Nosferatu clan, right? So we have Tusk and Tailbearer. So the first thing I would do is, if I were to draw this card during the game, I have two names. One of the things that's really amazing is every single one of these names works perfectly for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Tusk, great name. Tailbearer, great name. Sebastian, great name. Marley, great name. Selma. That's 5 different NPC names, right? And so I would use, and by the way, I do encourage you, drop a first name. Let the player characters get the last name if they need it, right? A lot of times most players won't even ask. But Tusk, when I look at Tusk, Tailbearer, I really think of specifically, I really get this idea of a half-orc blacksmith, right, who works all day in the town that the characters are visiting, and then reads at night in their smithy by candlelight, right? And just that's enough, right? And if you have the characters pass them when they go to the tavern or when they're leaving the tavern, and they can interact with him, and that's a story right there, right? Sebastian Marley, right? Awesome. This guy is going to be Sebastian Marley is simply a townfolk who wears a brilliant, beautiful red cape, right, and has a blue squirrel, right? There's your story, and you just jump from there. And so if you could see that, like when you use these images, right, I think they're really perfect for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, because making the shift over to a fantasy model is very, very easy. But then also, the other thing that's really cool is, because these are divorced from Dungeons & Dragons, your game's really going to have its own unique flavor. Because that's one of the things I think is an issue is, right now, the world is running on these pre-gens that Wizards of the Coast is forwarding. I get why they're doing that from a business perspective, but it's really very unnecessary. There's no need for all these pre-gens. And if you're out there making your game truly unique, you're going to attract the best players. And I think that to me is a good goal for a good or great dungeon master to have. And that's by the way, that is what I'm trying to do here with my channel, is encourage great dungeon mastering, right? I think and the reason why is there's a million YouTube channels out there trying to help young or new game masters. I ain't about that. That's not what this channel is about. This is about, if you've been DMing for 10 or 20 years, or if you've been DMing for 2 or 3 years and you're ready to get serious and you got the chops to do it, that's what I'm here for. I really want to encourage veteran, advanced, incredibly dedicated, really dedicated to unique, flavorful, powerful sessions of Dungeons and Dragons. Let's talk about Selma. So Selma here, we see when I see Selma, I think of a jilted bride, right? So Selma could be somebody who had been left at the altar, right? Or someone who left someone at the altar, right? So this might be somebody they come across who is simply giving them their supplies, their rations of meat and hardtack that they're going to buy, right? She might be in the general store, right? And only if they have a conversation will they realize that she just left somebody at the altar or was left at the altar. And the other thing is, maybe and the way they find this out is, in the store there's a special on this beautiful white dress, and it looks strange that the dress is there and on sale, and they ask, why is this here? And also the price on the dress is 4 times too high, right? So there's a story there. And that's the other thing is with these player characters, you want there to be a story, right? You really want to draw people into your non-player characters. The other thing is non-player characters are they're just wonderful joy that we have within the game. We are world builders. We get to build these worlds, and there's so many unique and special ways to do this. And so I'm just trying to share a new way that I'm using in my games, and give this to you. Definitely check out these cards. Get some if you want. Get some if you can. They're totally worth including into your Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition game. That's my opinion. I'd love to hear what you think. Do you think there were some story elements with any of these cards that I missed? Was there a better way I could have made a non-player character? Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.